finally get in. How's everybody?
We're fine, and I'm about to mute everybody.
Hey, Kurt, how are you doing with the COVID thing?
Well, I'm still here.
Yeah, are you negative? Were you
I'm
negative?
doing fine, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody, and we are now recording. And I want to welcome everybody, and we have 30 people online right now. I want to welcome everybody to our third monthly PEP Zoom meeting, which is amazing. We've done this for 3 months. Did any of you have the beef Wellington today? I thought it was just excellent. The Caesar salad was excellent. Ruby was kind of in a so-so mood, but you know, there was a lot of people at the lunch today. We have a great guest speaker that you're going to love. Don't worry about who it is. No pun intended. Jackie will introduce her in a few minutes. The board has been trying to figure out a way to introduce the raffle game or activity to Zoom, and we haven't had any luck. But I do want to let you know that we have 4 antique slot machines at our house. And if you really have an urge to gamble, bring your quarters and nickels over to my house. Just give me a call and I'd be glad to let you use my machines. And of course, it also helps pay for the gas for the boat. I hear Tom laughing. I know everybody has noticed how awful the air quality is, and I know many of us have been struggling with breathing this absolute crap air, and it's just, you know, it's bad enough that we got COVID. Now we have fires. Now we have bad air. It just can't get any worse, I swear. But if you need to monitor the air quality, there's a great website that I've been using called airnow.gov. Airnow, one word, .gov. It's a wonderful website. It's a government website. You can type in your zip code and it will tell you your exact air quality in your location. And it changes hour by hour. It's a great website. I use it a lot. And I highly recommend using that website. Again, it's airnow, one word, .gov. And it's a great, great website. A couple of days ago, Apple, and I told Jackie and a couple people about this, Apple introduced an all-new Apple Watch called the Apple Watch 6. And what's amazing about this watch is that it monitors your blood oxygen levels. And it'll monitor it all day long. It'll monitor it while you're sleeping. And I think it's a really pretty cool device. It sells base price for $399, but I'm gonna wait until some of the reviewers test it out and see how accurate it is and so forth. But if it turns out to be really accurate, I'm buying one in a heartbeat, because knowing my blood oxygen level for me, who desaturates like crazy, will be really, really helpful. I can wear the watch when I'm bicycling or working or doing whatever, and you can set an alarm on it so it'll start beeping if you get below 88 or 90%. It's supposed to be really cool. And it also measures your EKG and a whole bunch of other health functions. It's a pretty cool watch. It's called the Apple Watch 6. You can Google it. I'm not trying to do an ad for Apple, but it really does sound like a pretty cool watch. I'm not sure it's on sale yet. It may be, or it's just about to come on sale. Pat, you had something you wanted to say. Just unmute yourself, Pat. You're still muted.
Yes.
There you go.
I want to thank all of our callers, and several of you are here with us today. Thank you for all that you're doing. And I just want to put the word out, we need another one to make the calls to a group of maybe about 15 people once a month to find out how they're doing and to bring them up to date on what we're doing at the luncheon, and it's short and sweet. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's basically, 1 day, 2 days, maybe, if you need to make a repeat call. But if you're interested in being a caller and helping out, and what else have you got to do right now anyway? Sitting home, give Yvonne a call. Yvonne is in charge of all the callers, or give me a call. We would appreciate another caller. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pat. And it's a really important function, you guys. So hopefully someone will volunteer and call Pat or Yvonne. Our schedule, we've already started. Our guest speaker will speak from right about now and speak until 12:15. At 12:15, we'll open it up to Q&A, and that'll go till 12:30, and then we'll be over. So Jackie, I think our guest speaker is here. Without further ado, Jackie, would you please unmute yourself? And I'm going to turn the microphone back over to Jackie. It's all yours, Jackie.
All righty. Well, thank you all for being here. It's really nice to see everybody. This is really my favorite time of the month. I get to see everybody. Today, we're honored to have my therapist, who I see personally. That's why I'm in really good shape mentally. It's because I go to see somebody. Her name is Barbara Joseph. She's an RN and a licensed marriage family therapist, psychotherapist. And she practices here in the South Bay. And she's going to speak today on coping with COVID. So welcome, Barbara. Where are you, Barb?
Is she here?
Yeah, she's muted. We got to unmute you, Barb.
Hey,
There.
I'm good. Thank you for the introduction. And some of you may know me from before when I came to, I think it was a Christmas gathering. And so hi again, and welcome to the new people that are here that I didn't know before. COVID has changed all of our lives, and it's changed our lives in many, many ways. And I wanted to address some issues that I feel are probably of great concern to all of us. And, starting with how overwhelming this is for us. Whether we listen to the news, we go and read articles online, people say, they'll tell you the latest, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, don't go outdoors, and that tends to really overwhelm all of us. So I want to look at that with all of you. And also at some point, maybe when we do Q&A, is to hear how that's affecting everyone. There's many other points I want to reach is this is something unprecedented. None of us, however long we've been alive on this planet, have ever experienced anything like this. And I imagine in the beginning, it was hard for us to even imagine what this was, how it's going to affect us. Is it going to take us out? Is it going to hurt our family, friends, and all of that? So now it's been around, probably if we look at it, it's maybe the 7th month now. And we don't know when there's an end in sight. They're working on vaccines, which is a good thing. But we don't know when that's going to happen and when we're going to get it as far as getting the vaccine. Another concern is isolation. Someone was just talking, I was listening when I first logged on about how they miss going to the center to exercise with other people, and it's hard, as Jackie was addressing, to motivate yourself to exercise by yourself or even do a video or things like that. So that's another impact of isolation. Plus, I don't know how many of you have family members that come and visit you or not. You know, if people are staying away because they don't want to get you sick because you are vulnerable, but that's another form of isolation. Yeah, we have things like Zoom. Yeah, we have FaceTime. Yeah, we have phone, but it's not the same as in person, getting hugs, sitting next to someone, sharing a meal with someone. So that's another layer of things that we're dealing with. There's a lot of change that all of us are experiencing. We can't just jump in the car and go somewhere. We can't walk into the grocery store without a mask on. A lot of people are doing Instacart or Vons or whatever and getting deliveries. And that change is hard for some of us because we don't get to go squeeze the fruit and look at the expiration dates and really, you know, find the things that we're used to just going and getting. Worry. And I want us to talk about that. Like, where are people with worrying? When's this going to end? Am I going to get it? Is somebody I love going to get it? You know, one day it's wear a mask. Next day it's like, yeah, you can wear a mask. But, you know, and the latest thing from the CDC director is masks are definitely working. And for us to stay on top of that and to not wear our masks. And you can do the designer masks, you can do surgical masks. There's N95s. I imagine a lot of you are using those because that's probably the best protection we have so far. And I want to know about how many of you are panicked, you know, and just not sure what to do, not knowing, anxiety's taking over, having trouble sleeping, you know, waking up in the middle of the night, and mind keeps going and going. So some of the things also I want to talk about is really limiting our time of reading the news, watching the news, feeling that if we're not on top of the news all day long, we're going to miss something. And I personally listen to a half-hour news a day. I usually work until the evening, but every day I record David Muir for half an hour ABC News. That gives me what's going on in the United States, a little bit of Europe, a little COVID, that kind of stuff. And that's all I want to do. Because someone once told me, and I believe this, if something's big news, somebody will tell us. Somebody will tell us that information. And that's another piece, you know, people that think they're being helpful to us by giving us information, whether it's about the political scene or it's about COVID or it's about fires or it's about murders. I want us to think about limiting the input of that, limiting how much time we want to spend listening to that, because there's a lot going on our planet right now. And some of it is really sad, some of it is depressing. So to be really mindful and aware, you're not being rude, but it's like, okay, I can listen to this for 10 minutes, but no more. Let's talk about Jeopardy. Let's talk about Wheel of Fortune. You know, those kinds of things, or whatever brings you great happiness. Reading, meditating, and really coming back around to taking care of yourself. Because that's the main emphasis I want to talk about here. Because we're getting so much sensory input right now that it's like, well, we need to take a break for us. And remembering to do that, remembering to just sit, maybe if you can, sit in your backyard. Sleep, let's talk about sleep. I don't know how many of you are on your iPad, your iPhone, your Samsung, whatever, right before bed. Can you raise your hands? Yeah. Okay. So let's make up a story. You're going to go to bed at 10 o'clock. And at what time do you still have your electronics on? 9:30, 9? It's really important to stop an hour before you go to bed. Just shut it off. TV, some people have to sleep with the TV on. I'm not sure how that deals with the brain and the cells, but you got to shut the electronics down. I also recommend that you not sleep with your iPad, your phone, your Samsung in the bed or in the bedroom. Put it in another part of the house. I don't know how many people, I know a lot of young people use their phones for alarms, but get yourself an alarm clock if you use your phone for an alarm, because the light that comes on will disturb us. You know, whether we have an email coming in, a text coming in, it's like the blue light or whatever, it disturbs our sleep. And we really need to have enough sleep and get enough rest so that our cells rest, that they rejuvenate, that we wake up refreshed and clear-headed. How many of you wake up in the middle of the night? Around 3. Okay. And how many of you wake up because you have to go to the bathroom? Okay, a fair amount of them. And how many of you wake up, go to the bathroom, and are able to fall right back to sleep? Oh, okay. So a fair amount of you are. And then how many of you lay there worrying, not able to go back to sleep? No, okay, that's good. You know, in my many years as a therapist, I really see this pattern of people are awake at 3 a.m., not necessarily to go to the bathroom, but they're awake. So I always had, just as a light note, that I would start a support group at 3 a.m. for people that, that wake up and need to just talk or just have support. Never done that, but you know, those kinds of things. And getting up every day and getting dressed, not sitting around in your pajamas, because that's such a habit that doesn't help. You know, you're sitting there and it's like, I'm just going to keep my pajamas on. Well, your mindset is that that's how your day's going to go. You're just going to be kicking back. You're not going to feel motivated, may have a little depression. Put some clothes on. It doesn't have to be your Golda Meir jumpsuits or a tuxedo, right? But put on some clothes. Comb your hair, brush your teeth. Some women want to wear makeup. That's up to them. I'm not a makeup fan myself, but just something to break the routine. Because if we get into that rut of, I'm just going to leave my pajamas on. And before you know it, you're in the chair or you're laying down in the bed again. And that's not good. It's not good. I'm not saying don't take a nap if you're tired. You know, you need to pay attention to that, but not to be like, I'm bored, I'm not motivated. And I hear so much of that from people. I'm bored, Barbara, I'm not motivated, I'm tired of COVID, you know, and all of that, a lot of us are witnessing that or experiencing that for sure. So if you can at least get dressed and have a little bit of a routine. Another thing is, how many people have kind of lost their appetite and don't have any interest in food? People are doing okay with that? Are people overeating? Yeah, yeah. Our comfort food, right? You know, yeah. And, you know, people are talking about Rona weight. That's short for Corona. Rona weight. People, a lot of people have gained weight. And what I have to say about that is to really become aware of having your 3 meals and having healthy snacks, some almonds, some string cheese, some vegetables, some fruits, as things to take care of that craving, but not to be like, well, I think I'll eat a bag of Cheetos tonight, you know, and that's very comforting, but it doesn't help. You know, and gaining weight through this time, we have to be real mindful of that because the virus likes to go after people who are overweight, people who are diabetic, people who, like all of you, have lung disease. So if we can take some measures to not be overeating and gaining weight on top of that, it would be helpful, especially since you're not able to go to the center and exercise, where you could at least keep that going. How many of you, excuse me, take time every day to just sit? Sit and think, sit and meditate. Okay. Tom, can you unmute? Tom, can you unmute? Yeah. So what do you do when you sit?
Just contemplate my navel.
Yeah. And do you do that pretty regularly?
Uh, I can honestly say, sometimes I just sit there and think
Yeah.
about it may have been a movie I watched yesterday or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a tune in my head and I can't let it go.
Okay. And is that restful for you to just take that break from the day?
Yes, I can't. Sometimes I probably do it too much.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if every time I should be up doing a job or doing some chore or cleaning the house or going for a walk and I can sit there and think, well, okay, who
Okay.
wins? You know?
Okay. Yeah. You know, and it's okay to take that break. Take that break from the news. Take that break from worry. Take that break from what if this, that. Because our humanness puts us in that place of the what if. Well, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? And we don't really know what the future holds. All we know is about today. So I like to talk about you staying in the present moment. There's an app that you can put on your phone called Insight Timer. It's INSIGHT Timer. And it's really a good tool because you can listen to guided meditations. You can just put a timer on to just sit for a little bit. You can put gongs on. It's something that will keep us in the present moment. You can take some deep breaths, whatever your lung ability is with that, to just breathe and set it for however long you want. It doesn't have to be there in an hour under the Bodhi tree, but it can be something that you take that time and just sit. And I like the Insight Timer because it has little lectures, it has guided meditation, it has music, and it's free. You don't have to go for the super duper model. There's no reason to go for that. How many of you watch TV? Okay. How many of you watch Netflix? Hulu, whatever the latest? No, okay. Amazon Prime? Okay. And do a fair amount of you have favorite shows, or is it more movies?
Streaming shows.
Okay, okay. How many just have like shows they like to watch? Okay. And do you do that every day? Pretty much, yeah. And would you say that's helpful as a distraction? Yeah, yeah. As a way of getting out of what's going on, not watching the news, not, worrying so much. It takes us to a whole different place. It's like, wow, we're out here in this movie or this TV show. So I really want I want to encourage you all to go to using those movies, TV shows. I mean, there's some great stuff on there. Watch some comedies. It doesn't have to be a murder, but it can be a comedy. It can be something light. How many of you watch the news every day? Okay. How many of you watch the news for more than an hour a day? You can tell, Barbara, it's okay. You're not going to get in trouble. Okay. Okay. And how many of you don't watch the news at all? Oh, okay. And how many people find it helpful not to watch the news every day? Yeah. Yeah. I want to have people unmute themselves because I want to have a discussion. Can you do that, please?
Yeah, everyone's got to do that individually. I can't unmute
Okay.
the whole group.
That's okay. That's okay.
So you guys just see how you go to that little red microphone and click on it?
Mhm.
So,
So I wanted to interject that I do not watch the news on TV, but I read the news online. And I usually go to several Israeli papers. For any subject other than Israel, I go to Al Jazeera, which is wonderful reporting. And of course, I have a lot of friends sending me stuff. So I'm totally in touch. I just don't use the television. I really don't have any faith in any of the networks.
mhm.
So,
Zoom.
So,
Zoom.
so tell other people, tell me what you're watching on the news. Is it a certain channel? Is it a,
Phone call.
so,
I like the ABC nightly news, and I also watch the BBC.
okay.
I watch a local channel because I'm new in this area and I like to know what's happening around me.
I watch local up until the weather, and then I stop watching local, and then I'll watch the first 10 minutes of network, and then no more news.
Okay.
I watch a lot of news, both morning, noon, and night, because I like to find out what's going on, and sometimes it interrupts me.
It's too depressing to do that, man.
Well, I can talk to it on the radio with the guys that are back East Coast swimming around and with the alligators.
I watch Channel 5 News.
I do
try to
too.
watch, and I
Yeah.
watch it because they're not real serious.
Okay.
A lot of humor
Right.
on it.
And I think it just, they put a lighter spin. So, and certain newscasts, it's just so freaking serious, but they have a better way of delivering the bad news. Does that make sense?
Makes
Yes,
Yeah,
it
I like
does.
Channel 5.
Even though I was in the news business, if
What was that? What was
stopped
it again,
watching
Jackie?
news, we'd be better off.
I agree, Kurt.
I agree.
agree.
It's just
about
too,
Spectrum One?
it's too depressing. Life right now is depressing enough.
Mhm.
And just adding the sensational news, it shortens your life. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I think Spectrum One News is the best.
Huh?
Spectrum One News,
Oh,
because they give you information about what's going on locally, and they also have some stories that are not light and entertaining. So it's not always negative, and they seem like they're pretty balanced.
oh.
Yeah.
If
I've
you
watched
have
them.
That's
They're
about
pretty
5.
good.
Anthony, if you have Spectrum, that's great.
Oh, okay. I didn't know everybody did have it.
No.
I'm a direct TV guy. They don't have news.
What about you, Arlene?
I watch about 1 hour of cable news, and then the rest I watch just local news just for the weather and the sports, because I'm a sports nut. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Archie?
And the rest is
Yes.
programming type shows that I like, which are on hiatus, I guess, because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to come back.
Me too. I miss all my favorite shows.
Yeah, Rita, what happened to Mr. Mercedes?
West with the best.
Yeah.
Rita.
I don't know. I think it's over. I've read all the book, but I don't mind watching it again. I mean, it was great the first time. It's pretty good the second time.
Yeah.
Barbara?
Which me? Me?
Our
Or the
guest
other one?
speaker, Barbara.
Oh.
Barbara, have you seen in your profession, seen a much higher level of suicides during COVID?
I fortunately have not, but I'm keeping tabs on the people that I see are much more depressed than they've ever been. They are much more anxious than they've ever been. I mean, the stats are that people now are 2 times more depressed than, or more people, there's 2 times as many people, more people depressed now than before COVID. So the numbers are rising, and I think it's a matter of time until we see suicides, especially with people who lost a lot of money when the stimulus went away and still don't have a job and really can't go for a job because there's not many jobs out there. So yes, I think the mental health system needs to amp it up to be able to help people a lot.
I was told by one of our members, you all know her, Sarah, who has a double lung transplant. She said UCLA has done twice as many organ transplants this year than they did in all last year. She said because of the suicides, a positive impact, so to speak, of the suicides is a greater availability of heart and liver and lungs and so forth. But she said suicides are way, way up.
They wouldn't want my liver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Harvey, Harvey, I see you.
Hello.
Everybody, Harvey is zooming in from Delaware.
Hi, everybody. How's
Hey,
everybody doing?
Hey,
Harvey.
Hi, how are you?
Harvey.
Hello.
He's coming from Delaware.
Yes, I am. It's a beautiful sunny day. About 75 degrees and beautiful.
Wait another day.
Smoky.
Yeah. No smoke in the air here.
It's smoky here, buddy.
I know. There's no smoke in the air here. I mean, it's just beautiful, pristine. You know, we get good weather. You know, it only gets down to the 30s, and it's great here.
Harvey, where are you?
Delaware.
Oh, okay.
Wilmington.
Well, we're sending some smoke your way.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. My tenant told me that it is really bad. Yeah.
Well, Barbara,
great to see everybody.
It's great to see you. Barbara is our guest here, and she is telling us how to handle stress during COVID.
Yeah, like everybody else, I watch a little bit of BBC, and then I listen to NPR on the radio, and that's it.
Good.
Because the rest of those network news, they tell you anything whatever they want that day.
That's
so I don't mess with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many of you are feeling less motivated since COVID? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody want to speak to that less motivation or lack of motivation? Is there anybody who wants to talk about that? Archie?
Yeah, I'm feeling less motivated because of the simple reason I stay up late, I sleep late, I eat breakfast late, I go to the bathroom late, and everything I do is late. It's not in the time period that I'm accustomed to. It's just further down the darn alleyway, I guess. I don't know what it is. And it's making me ill because I don't get my exercise. I've almost forgot about all of that. So I need something to get me exercised up.
Jackie, what do you recommend for exercise?
You know,
the new step, really. I want to know what happened with the new step. For me, that's the best thing out.
Yeah, wherever new steps to go.
as long as you guys can walk in the house every single day. You know, I lack exercise too. I shouldn't be talking about exercising. I work in the gym and I never exercise. However, it's important to do something every single day. But I'm with you, Archie. I think what it is with me is lack of a routine. Mm-hmm. Even going back to work and going back to a routine is not routine anymore. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that have been taken out of context. Like you guys aren't there. Mm-hmm. So that's different. We don't work a full 8 hours some days. No. Some days we don't even work at all. And so lack of that routine of every morning getting up and doing your thing is gone. And getting up every morning when you don't work to go to the market and do different things is gone. You can't just call your girlfriend up and let's go have coffee, because you can't do that
Right.
anymore. So it's a lack of the same routine all the time, Barbara, that I feel the frustration.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, well, we have to create a routine, but what does that really mean for us? Like you say, Jackie, when you have a work day, that's pretty familiar. And you aren't seeing as many of these wonderful people that we're seeing right now, so it's so different for us. And
so different.
Yeah, and so many people I see in my practice are like, Barbara, I'm not motivated. Similar to what you're saying, Archie, I'm sleeping later. My routine is knocked off. I'm, sluggish, and that just depresses our immune system, which we can't afford at this time. We've got to really do something, like Jackie was saying, walk around the house. I imagine there's lots of exercise videos that are low impact. Do you have some weights, some light weights that you can do, or a stretch band? Am I doing okay here, Jackie?
Yeah, definitely. We all have TheraBands.
Yeah,
we do.
Right onto your doorknob, do some stretches.
Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't snap you, but.
Yeah. And I'm not discounting this lack of routine. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people, when are we going to get back to normal? Well, I don't know that
We don't know.
we won't go back to that normal. It's going to be a new normal, which we don't know when or where or what that's going to look like, right?
Well,
So
that's what depresses everybody, Barbara, is you got COVID, you've got fires, you've got smoke. A lot of us have lost friends this year that have passed away for a variety of reasons. I mean, you just kind of add all those things up, and it gets darn depressing, and there's, really no great end in sight in COVID, and we don't know when restaurants are going to be back to normal. We don't know when, all of us want life to go back to normal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even look like that might ever happen. And that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you throw the politics on top of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom,
That's a whole new hour of talk.
Tom, it doesn't even matter what side of the fence you're on. Just listening to all that diatribe from both left and right side of the fence, it just wears you down. And it's all bullshit.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Tom, because we need to add that to the list of stressors.
Oh, you damn straight you do. It's probably right now, especially between now and election day, how much mail are we going to get? How much?
Too much.
Even turn on TV without seeing some sort of ad. And anymore, I don't believe any of them. I don't care who you're voting for. I don't believe any of them.
That gets created in us. It's like, wait, I'll listen to this. Well, maybe that's it. Well, listen to this. And it's like you say, Tom, you can't believe anything anymore. You really can't. Or hold on to something that it's going to stay stable, right?
If you look at all of those ads up there, you'll see paid for by somebody. Somebody's making money out of this, and it's TV people, and they're making buku amount of money because somebody's paying them to run these darn things. Nobody pays them not to run the darn things, and nobody pays them to run something that's halfway decent for us old folks. Like I was telling everybody, I turned 90 this year, and everybody was wondering why. And I said, because I don't give a darn about whatever else goes on. I'm just trying to stay alive.
Well, Barbara, the problem is we've pegged the meter on stress. You add all those things, COVID, fire, smoke, election, economy, loss of normal life, loss of friends. We've pegged the meter in stress.
Yes. And I really appreciate you addressing the loss of friends. And I'm Jackie's told me about some of the losses of this group. And that's, like you say, Kurt, that's a whole nother layer of grief. And not being able to go to services or watching on Zoom, or, we've lost that connection, and we have to kind of compromise that. And so the grief is there. We don't get to really process it much like we would going to someone's memorial or, whatever.
We lost one of our great board members this year, and there's nothing we could do. There's no services. There's nothing. You know, it's just
there's no closure.
no closure.
There's no closure.
There you go.
There's just no closure. You still expect to see these people come into your door. There's no closure. There's no goodbye. There's no thank you for everything you've done for us. There's no thank you for being a good friend. It's gone because you can't go to anybody's services. You can't mourn the loss of your good friend. And it's just very, very difficult.
Yeah.
On top of all of that, you also have to add weddings, the happier events.
Yes.
That get put off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a neighbor down the street that I've known since he was born. He's supposed to get married 2 months ago. Then they moved it to October, November, and now they've moved it off into next year.
Next year.
Yeah,
Just like my daughter, Tom.
Yeah, that happened to me.
Get married on the 10th of October, and she was either had to reschedule it for next year or lose all of her deposits everywhere. So she had to reschedule. She's even got her everything. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And births of babies, new babies being born.
Right.
You
Well,
can't
not
go
for-
see your new babies.
Not
'Cause
from
you're-
us. We're
So,
not
yeah.
having babies, Jackie.
We have just so much to mourn right now. And we just have so much. That's why I go to you. There's just so much.
That's
that-
another
that is-
good point.
But when you
Jackie.
really think about it, we're going to survive this. How I look at it is, I think we'll survive this because life was so different before 9/11. And then that happened, and we survived, and we had a new norm. I think we're going to have a new norm after this as well. But it's just getting into it and learning the new norms.
Right, and really doing self-care like I talked about, taking those breaks, not watching the news all day, worried we're gonna miss something,
Yeah.
a better way of doing some exercise, and doing something like this forum right here. I'm available if you guys wanna see me more often to have discussions like this. I know, Jackie, you have your calendar going, but I think we did something for the holidays before, but, I'm available to be with all of you in whatever capacity. I know you also have the educational part of doctors and all of that, but, I believe this has been really helpful for people to speak to all of this, and to be able to express their frustration, their sadness, their overwhelm. Yeah.
So Barbara, how are you meeting with your patients? Are you doing it on Zoom?
I'm doing Zooming, FaceTime, Skype, and just phone.
But no face-to-face?
I have a couple that come in face-to-face, but they're totally isolated. And I have an air purifier with a UV light in my waiting room in my office, and there's more than 6 feet separating me from them. And we wear masks. But a lot of people don't want to come in, and I totally understand that. It's not an issue for me. Yeah. 'Cause it's important that people.
Not mine.
That it's important that people can stay.
Somebody's got an open mic with a phone and a.
Somebody.
I'll do.
Yeah.
Turn your phone off.
I think Arlene answered her phone and walked away from us.
Okay.
Okay. But it's important for people to connect, so whatever way I can do it with them, we're doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
Your bathroom is clean.
Thank you, honey.
Who else wants to? I mean, we have some more time. We have time. So what else do people want to talk about that would be helpful? Go ahead.
Hello?
Phoebe, you need to either unmute yourself or type it in the chat box.
Unmute.
There you
Do you
go.
hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm so I guess, depressed.
Yeah. Can you talk about that?
There's no respect here anymore. The world is totally screwed up. I just want to pack everything up and leave California, but I guess that's not going to cure it either. You can't go anywhere. You're afraid. You know, people just attack you for no reason and rob you, and you don't dare go out. Sorry, guys.
No, don't be sorry.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. So do you live alone?
No, my husband, but he works. He's always helping everybody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't go anywhere since March. But if he goes to the store, he makes me stay in the car for my protection.
Yeah.
But we don't do anything, you know. Nobody else is either, but it's just, I've been in this house since March.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, baby, don't feel bad, because I sit and cry all the time, because I just wonder when the next shoe's going to drop. Am I going to end up back at the hospital? Am I going to get out of the hospital this time? Am I going to come off life support this time? It's just, I can't stay positive all the time. My daughter calls me Negative Nelly, and I can't help it. I guess I really am. I try not to be, but it is what it is. You know, it's just, you're not alone, BB. Trust me, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my phone. It's my husband. Okay, I'll let. Yes.
Not mine.
Or mine.
I just unmuted her.
Okay.
My brother-in-law 30 days ago took his life. And he was 79 years old, in perfect health, swam every day, in perfect health. He's married to my sister. They have grandchildren, 2 great kids, wonderful grandchildren that they see, you know, socially distanced. And it was a culmination of, he was a retired naval officer, and he was very frustrated with the state of the country. He was also, his business was bad before COVID, and COVID just killed it. So he was gravely concerned about the finances for my sister. And he was depressed about COVID and just kind of depressed about everything. And it was a perfect storm of all these elements that came together. And he took his life. And he planned it all out weeks ahead of time and wrote letters to everybody. And it was a horrible, horrible tragedy. But looking back at it, I think everyone could kind of understand how this perfect storm of events came together to bring him to do what he did. And he was a guy that in a million years, you would never think he would do such a thing. And he did it. So I think it's really great that you're here, Barbara, and that we think about positive things in our lives and trying not to dwell on all the negative crap that's happening, because you can just sink to the bottom of the pool thinking about all this negative things that are happening. And whether it's riots in the streets, COVID, fires, smoke, election, I mean, the list is endless. And so I think somehow we need to think about positive things, because with all this stuff that's going on, all this noise, there are many, many wonderful positive things that are going on in life. And that's what we need to focus on to help us pull through this horrible period.
You know, starting at the top of that list, we're all here. We're here.
Yeah,
It's true.
We're
all
here.
of us. We
You know,
haven't lost one PEP member.
Oh, I don't know what it was.
you know, and that's a big deal. We're all,
Oh, is that what it was?
you know, and right now we're all here together. I mean, that's very powerful to me. And that's why when I was talking, to really find some lightness in your day, you know, whether it's sitting in the backyard, whether it's watching I Love Lucy, whether it's playing with the dog or the cat, you know, picking up the phone and calling someone. You know, Pat was talking about the phone tree, you know, just a way of connecting, knowing we're limited. But I appreciate you saying that, Kurt, because there are so many things that are kind of falling in on us, but we need to know that we can stand up, we can breathe, we can be with each other. You know, you have this forum here. I mean, it's so powerful to me that you all meet like this. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And that you all show up. I mean, you know, the fact that you all, Jackie and Kurt, I think you two kind of spearheaded this. It's so amazing. It's amazing. You know, and that people can openly share their pain. I don't know many places you can do that, really, without, you know, being isolated in your head, you know, what a gift. What a gift.
One of the things that I've found, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the things that I've found is that laughter is one of the biggest healers and lifter of negativism. And to find something each day that you can laugh about. And even if you have to look for it in a comedy, like we're talking about Netflix, watching movies, something where you can get that laughter in. It lightens the load. It creates such a lift. And if you can do it with family members, or even if you're alone watching a comedy, try to laugh each day.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is dog videos.
And it's matching too.
Oh my gosh, when the dogs talk, I mean, it's like I just can't hardly stop laughing. I mean, it's a belly laugh, you know, because it's just, I love it, you know.
On YouTube, funny videos.
Yeah.
Funny
Yeah.
videos.
Yes.
On YouTube, yeah.
Yvonne sends us some wonderful videos that cheer us up and are really funny and good.
Yeah. You know, one of the best things you can do from being depressed, I think, is to get outside. Put your mask on, walk outside, and if you're able to, get a little dog. Walk up and down the street. Believe me, you'll get to know all your neighbors. All your neighbors will want to get to know you. And you'll feel better about yourself. The little dog will make you go outside a couple of times a day, even if you don't want to, but it'll keep you honest.
Yeah.
And it keeps you, I think, from getting depressed. I really think so. But getting outside is important. Even if the air is bad, wear a mask.
What about it?
But even if you live alone and you want to, get a cat, and a cat keeps you good company. They're low maintenance, and it gets you out of yourself.
We see your black cat behind you.
Both cats are there.
Yeah.
The other one's sleeping. Can you see it on the floor?
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that can be very helpful, if you live in a house and you yard, get outside, go into your garden, you know, take a stroll around the yard. You're, you know, just watching nature, the flowers, or if you raise a vegetable garden, you know, all of that is just very calming.
Yes.
Betsy raised her hand to ask a question.
It was me. It wasn't a question. I remember one time when I was coming after going with my husband, being with him for so long every night. And it occurred to me with my flashlight out in my backyard in my little pots, I grew at that time vegetables. Now I have a lot, but just a few vegetables. It occurred to me one night that I was out there about 11 o'clock getting my salad, and I was smiling. And I got to thinking about that, and that because I hadn't smiled, I don't think, all day. And, you know, if you just get a pot with any kind of a little plant, anything, and take care of it, if you can get outside in the sunshine, or if you have to be out at night with a flashlight, you know, you just find yourself down in the dumps, and all of a sudden you're smiling. So now I'm thinking when I'm out there talking to my plants and my veggies that aren't doing so well, and I'm smiling, but trying to make them feel better.
I
love that.
You know, I think it helps a lot, I think.
Thank you. Betsy, your hand is up.
Yes. So we've talked about depression and anxiety and the fears of, you know, is the world ever going to be the same again? I think we agree it's not. What about anger? I find times that I'll be flipping channels on TV and you hear these talking heads totally contradicting each other, or just, you know, thinking, when am I going to be able to do this again? And I find myself at times getting angry that I can't, or that I, you know, have to wear the mask and do all that stuff. Am I the only one that's turning it to anger?
No.
No.
Yeah.
You know, trips. I put off several trips. One of them was totally booked and paid for, and I had to cancel that. At the time, yeah, I have to cancel, but now I'm getting angry because it looks like that trip's not going to be able to be rescheduled. And it just.
I'm with you, Betsy. My sister's husband just passed away in Arizona from a stroke, and I can't go to the funeral because I'll be stuck there for 2 weeks. I'd love to give her a hug, but I can't. So we FaceTime. It's not the same, but it really pisses me off. None of her children live in Arizona. They all live here in California, so none of them can come to a funeral. It's crazy. I just get so angry. I just want to spit.
So I'm not the only one, okay.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about virtual funerals and virtual weddings.
They're not the same.
Maybe it's better than nothing. It's not the same. Life is not the same. You know, the world is not the same. And I think that we're kind of trying to take little baby steps into it and let these things that pop up. Oh, you know, talking to her online and this and that. It's not the same, but it's better than nothing. This is my main form of communication with my family, my niece, my sister, my daughter, is Zoom or Facebook or WhatsApp. It's not the same, but it's better than nothing.
That's true.
I resolve myself, that's it. This is as good as it's going to get right now. Then I find myself getting angry. Some of it's because it's affecting me personally. You know, how come I can't rebook that trip now, or how come I can't do this? But then I realize it's not me, it's everybody.
Yes.
It's everybody.
And you know what, Betsy? It's okay to be angry. It's okay. We got to acknowledge that and do our best to diffuse it. But a lot of what's going on is very angering. It's very upsetting.
Okay, therapy.
It's, you know, it's a normal reaction. And, you know, we can't say, oh, I'm such an angry person. What's wrong with me? No, it's not that at all. Because we have to let that out. Otherwise, it'll make us sick. It'll make us sick. It'll make us depressed. It'll make us more anxious. You know, anger is a normal feeling. You know,
I personally feel more anger than depression.
Pardon me?
I personally, like right now at this stage of the whole crisis, am feeling more anger than depression.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. You know, because it's okay. You know, anger is normal. It's a normal feeling. You know, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you're an angry person," or "Stop being angry." Really? How could we do that? It's part of us. It's part of our reaction to a world that we feel out of control of.
Out of control.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. What's not good is when we project that anger onto someone and it's hurtful.
I understand that.
Yeah, you know, and that's when it's not healthy or not good, but it's okay. We're angry.
I had a dog right now. I'd want to kick it. I wouldn't, but it's just kind of that kick the dog feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's Mackie?
Barbara,
Is Mackie there?
Oh yeah, she's sleeping in her bed.
we're really almost out of time. I have a great idea.
Okay.
Before we close, every single person that's online on Zoom has to say one positive thing that's going on.
In their life?
In their life, in the world, whatever. Just and rather than something a negative, something positive. You could say, I'm alive today. You could say, my petunias grew up today. You could say, I had a good dinner last night. You could say, you love your dog. You could say whatever you want.
I have a good
Okay,
one.
I have something.
I have a good bowel movement today.
Okay. I got one.
The Dodgers clinched a playoff spot.
Wonderful. Here, look at our air quality. This is
Yes.
Redondo Beach air quality. It's green today.
Yes.
Green.
Yes.
I want some of that.
That's my positive. So everyone, you get one positive comment.
I'm not in the hospital this day.
Yes.
Yay.
Archie.
I'd rather be seen than viewed, my old favorite saying.
Hey, I got a comment.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I joined the party late today. I didn't get on when I was supposed to, but it happens to be my wedding anniversary. So we were going to go out to lunch to celebrate, but my pulmonologist told me with the air quality that we've had the last few days, it's been bothering me, so stay indoors. You cannot leave the house. So here we are on our 39th anniversary, and you say, how do you make fun out of something? We started laughing, and we said, this is great. You know what we're going to do? We're going to call Grubhub, and we're going to order hot dogs and French fries, and we're going to have a party. And in our house, she's going to join us. So we're going to have a 3-person party. And we started laughing. We said, this is so great. I'm going to make a video of this because it's going to be so exciting. I mean, of all the 39 years, it'll probably be one of the best ones we've had. So how do you make fun of things? You turn it into. So anyway, sorry to join late, but I was busy celebrating.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Tough one to beat, Jeannie.
Well, I'm always very thankful and happy to see all of you at the same place, the same time of the month. It's just really, that's what brings me happiness. And it gives me an opportunity to see Betsy and all you guys. Hopefully we'll get back soon. So you guys regenerate my engine once a month here.
And that's a ditto for me. And also, I was just looking at the phone too, and the air index in Redondo and Torrance is 19. It's good. So get outside, wear your mask, but get outside.
Yeah, wear your mask and get outside. I'm breathing better today. Some days are better than others. Today's a good one.
El Segundo's at a 73.
Is that good?
No.
It's
moderate.
Moderate. The moderate's okay, Tom. It's when you get in the orange and the red. Moderate's okay.
Manhattan Beach is 95.
All right, some more positives, you guys.
But it's going down.
I'm happy to see all of you being able to continue the connection, even from Reno. And this is a great extension for me.
Mm. So good to see you too, Pat.
Thank you.
Great.
My first niece was born on Monday. My brother and his wife had a baby on Monday.
Oh, yay.
Got home yesterday. Yeah.
Congratulations.
All right, Ed, come on. Let me hear something positive from you, buddy.
Okay, my husband,
My
I
husband
told
and I are doing
brother-
jigsaw puzzles. My husband and I are doing jigsaw puzzles, and I'm so happy we haven't killed each other with this 1,000 piece one. Oh my God.
There you go.
Penny Baker.
I'm happy that I'm able to talk to my brother every week.
Wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Come on, need some more. You can't.
I find that people are more polite to each other than they were before the COVID in the grocery store.
Yes, they are.
Nobody else has noticed that, but I feel people are more caring toward each other. I hope. What I've seen.
I think yes. That people are nice.
It's a beautiful day today. You can get out there and, you know, you can actually breathe when you're this close to the ocean. I think it's really nice outside.
Yes. The sun's out, no smoke.
Yeah, I'm going down to Redondo.
Well, since it's a day early, I just wanted to wish all your Jewish people a happy or sad Rosh Hashanah, because I can't remember whether it's a happy time or a sad time. But happy Rosh Hashanah anyway.
Yes.
Thank you.
Betsy, you wanted to say something.
Well, my positive thing is, despite everything, change can be a positive and a good thing. When we come out of this, maybe it'll be a better, happier, more inclusive, accepting, peaceful world. I'm
Right.
trying, you guys. I'm trying.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Carol's not on today.
Roberta?
I wanted to reinforce Arlene's statement that walking the dog, which I must do twice a day, not only gets me outside, but I talk to many of my neighbors, not all of them every day, but it keeps your socialization going.
Yep.
Did anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't hear a grunt or anything.
I think Kurt fell off his chair or something.
Another cookie.
No, I was sorry. I had to feed the cats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, better feed the cat, because if you don't, he'll bite you.
Yeah. All right, come on. You can't get off this Zoom call unless you say one thing positive. Gretchen?
Okay.
Oh, you said something.
Nancy.
Okay, I got two. One, I had two of my closest people here yesterday. We had a great day. And two, I'm very thankful for Joanne. She keeps me going.
We are too. Love you, Joanne.
Yes.
Yep.
You're the best.
It's, it's not that easy.
Tom.
And I'm thankful for Jocelyn and everything she does for us.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Jocelyn.
Okay, can't get off the call till you say something positive.
I can't think of anything positive other than, is it 5 o'clock yet?
That's
5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You are too funny.
I can't start drinking at noon.
Why not?
Okay.
Well, I draw the line someplace.
Yeah, I don't buy it, Tom. I don't buy it.
I have something positive. I think it was very wonderful that Barbara joined us and shared with us her expertise in good thinking. Thank you so much, Barbara.
Well,
We had a great turnout today. I think we had 37.
Wow.
So
great.
Thank you so much for joining.
And thank you, Barbara, very much.
And thank you for asking me, Jackie. It's my pleasure.
Is that your new kitchen, Jackie?
I'm sorry?
Is that your new kitchen behind you?
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Oh, my goodness. How beautiful.
Thank you. Now to learn to cook.
Miracles do happen.
Yeah. I think for Thanksgiving, I'm going to buy everybody a Swanson TV dinner, Thanksgiving TV dinner. And then you just eat as you please.
They're not bad.
Full of sodium, guys.
You're dating yourself, Swanson TV dinner. I live by those.
I remember that too.
Me too.
Well, I
Okay,
need
you
to
guys,
sign off.
we're running over time.
I need to sign off, everybody. Take good care.
Okay, thank you,
bye.
Barbara.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Very
bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, bye, you guys.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Take
That
care.
rocks.
Okay. Bye-bye, Kurt.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Kurt.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you, Kurt.
You're welcome.
See, no one ever wants to leave.